So a quick hello. Here is my audience. Say hi. Hi everybody.
Hello.
Okay, and then me. So I was asked to give a speech for my communications class. So I'm doing a rare disease informative speech. Um, since I was born, I've been struggling with an unknown medical condition. In the early summer of 2011, I had an appointment with a pediatric rheumatologist. I was 20 years old, and luckily for me, she had just returned from a convention and thought she had a diagnosis for me. In late July, early August, I was enrolled into a research study at the National Institutes of Health. I stayed there for about 4 days, and they had a diagnosis for me. And once I left there, I was given a trial drug, and I came home and I started on that. And rare diseases in the United States, the definition of that is when it affects 200,000 Americans at any given time. There are between 6,000 and 7,000. Most are genetic, and of those, 50% are affecting children. Chances are you probably know somebody. Me. Reasons they're important because the lack of knowledge delays a diagnosis, which then delays treatment. During the time treatment is delayed, damage to the body is occurring and can be permanent. If diagnosed early on, sometimes damage can be stopped or even reversed. These can be debilitating for most individuals, and getting diagnosed correctly is often hard, but the advancement of science, most people are receiving correct diagnoses and treatment at an early stage. You can have a seat. Alright, I just started, so it's no big deal.
I'm here to be informed.
Yeah. Very few doctors are aware of these diseases. They don't know the proper treatment plan, and they're not aware of what tests to run to diagnose and order to see how you're maintaining. Many patients have to see specialists. They can't just go to the primary care doctor. So when you go see your specialist, it's more money. So then your insurance company is like, well, that's not cool. So you have to pay more money, which is also not cool for the patient. So another big problem is with the Food and Drug Administration. Most of these medications are not approved by the FDA, so therefore they're not approved by the insurance company. The drugs are also referred to as orphan drugs, which goes along with the orphan diseases. This can have a huge burden on the individuals and their families. Another very big problem with rare diseases are for the children once they're growing up. Going to school, you have to have a 504 plan or an IEP plan. They're different, which I'm not going to get into that, but this is kind of like a contract for the school, which binds someone to saying, this is my child, this is what you're going to do for my child once they're sick. Like with me, I have hearing aids, so once I was in class, the teacher is going to wear like a microphone every day in class so that I could hear her. If she wasn't going to do that, that's kind of like a legal document, depending on which one you have. They have to follow this. If they don't, they get in trouble, kind of thing. I think the other one's kind of more like a learning disability type thing, but it's because you're sick. How can people make a difference? There's awareness days that they can go to, such as Rare Disease Day, that they may be involved in. Some individuals may hold their own fundraisers. Um, there's also individual awareness months, such as mine is in August. It's called Autoimmune Disease Awareness Month. I can do things like sell bracelets, sell t-shirts, go to Dunkin' Donuts and ask them if they'll benefit me, anything like that. Another helpful thing for people like me, like my recent thing that I've had with my doctor, not wanting to listen. He's a neurologist. He's great at what he does, which is awesome. But he doesn't know about my disease, which I asked him to speak to my specialist. It's doctors who they just don't know. It's hard to get them to understand and listen. It's like you're wanting to step on your toes, but you're not stepping on the toes, and they don't want to admit they don't know what they're talking about. But you're not trying to be mean. They just I don't know what the problem is. But you need to go into your appointments. You need to have pamphlets. You need to have email addresses, phone numbers, something to help pass along this information to get them to listen and respect you. So, as a patient, a daughter, a sister, a friend of the rare disease community, I've gotten firsthand experience just how much rare disease really affects all of us. It's really shocking the amount of times I hear I've never heard of that from doctors and others. This just goes to show how little awareness these diseases are getting. Although there are events out there to support them. Today we've learned these diseases can wreak havoc on every aspect of life, and that's why it's so important that people in the medical field try to be as aware as possible, as well as friends and family. And I've heard from other friends that family members, you would think they're supportive. They're not always supportive. They blame, like spouses, they blame the mom for the kids' problems, which is not always the case. I have heard of breakups, marriage breakup over this. It's pretty sad. So that's my speech. Thanks.